Hi guys, the news about the new best in slot weapons and other items for the summit update has just dropped about half an hour ago. I just had a very quick review, so I more or less know what I think about it, but I wanted to review it with you live as well and share my thoughts about which weapons I think are best for the EK. And just review quickly the latest teaser because this is, I think, the most interesting one for the summer update so far. So first things first, exact values of the items have not yet been released. But I think definitely for EK, you don't care that much about the exact values because realistically, the values will be similar to like the soul weapons, right? The weapon, the two-hander will probably have like 57 damage total. And the one hander will probably have like 54 damage total, with a split of like 5 physical, 50-ish elemental. They're going to be very good, okay? But what we really care about is the elemental damages, which we know, which we're going to talk about in a moment. And just before we talk about that, I want to talk about the Sanguine power, because this is something that was shared now. So basically, the Sanguine power will be an extra benefit to a spell. So, for example, for EK weapons, if you have this Sanguine power on the weapon, there are two tiers. There's like a basic one and a powerful one. The basic one will give you basically half of the damage increase that you would expect from the Wheel of Destiny. So, for example, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think the Exile Grand buff in the wheel is about 10%, more or less. So the basic Sanguine power would give you like a 5% increase to Exile Grand damage, while the more powerful one would give you about 10% increased damage to Exile Grand, the same as in the wheel. Okay, so I would, and for Paladin, this is for Exile Massan, for Sorcerer, this is Great Fire Wave and Energy Wave, and for Druids, this is Strong Ice Wave and Terror Wave. So we're probably looking at similar values. Now, I don't think this is amazing or bad. We're going to have to see the exact values, but I think this is just going to be an extra nice little buff. Just my first thought is that I think I prefer the soul weapon boost. So the two-handed soul weapon has extra crit damage, which is, just a flat increase that helps you with leech and stuff. So I definitely really like that one. And the one-handed soul weapon gives you extra leech, right, as well. So first impressions, I think I prefer the soul bonus, but having some extra damage on Fierce Berserk for the EK is obviously going to be good as well. That's also going to increase your leech, and now getting like a crit or like a fatal with Fierce Berserk with these new soul weapon, these new Sanguine weapons is going to be pretty good. Anyway, let's jump into the elements of all of these weapons. Now we go. So when you hover over it on Tibia.com, it shows you the elemental damage, elemental protection on the other gear. So first of all, let's take a look at the EK weapons. So first of all, what I can judge to be the Sanguine Blade is the one-handed sword weapon, and this is going to be fire plus physical. I don't know how great that is going to be. I know that there's the Summer Blade, obviously, which isn't very strong. So obviously this is going to be much better than the Summer Blade. But we also have the Eldritch weapon, right? The two-hander, which is pretty good in sword with a lot of fire damage. So, this weapon, probably okay. It's going to be good for very difficult spots where you also want a shield, right? So if you go in Ice Library, you would probably use this, right? So you can stick on a shield as well. Unfortunately, the EK doesn't have the Ectoplasmic Shield because the Ectoplasmic Shield would work great at Ice Library with a single-handed fire weapon. Unfortunately, it's not for a sword EK. I think it's going to be fine, but I don't think I'm too excited about this one personally. One-handed sword fire weapon, nah, it's okay. Moving on, this I believe is the two-handed sword weapon, and here we have energy plus physical. Now this I think is great. This I'm really jealous about because this is going to be really great for sword. So this is going to be like basically best in slot two-handed energy weapon, probably comparable in power to the club soul two-handed weapon, but in sword, definitely going to be super useful. Energy is a great element, so congratulations to sword EKs. I think sword maybe was a little bit weaker than the other types recently. So two-handed energy sword, very, very good. That one's probably going to be one of the most expensive items in this update. Moving on to club. Again, I don't 100% know that this is the one-handed one versus two-handed one, but I can just judge by the images. I expect this is the one-handed one, so I think the one-handed club is going to be Sanguine Cudgel. I think that's how it's pronounced, and it's going to be death plus physical, so basically a one-handed death weapon. This is going to be comparable to the Soul one-handed sword and axe, basically with death. Club EK didn't really have a death element. They had that mortal mace, which wasn't very good. So basically, this is going to be as good as the one-handed soul and axe and sword. Amazing for places like Sphinxes. So decent item. Definitely going to be a decent popular item for club EKs. Now, the two-handed club EK weapon, as far as I can guess, is the Sanguine Bludgeon, which is earth plus physical. So club EKs are getting a two-handed earth weapon. I don't know whether that's going to be too good. I mean, Earth Element is okay in a few places, but probably the least useful one. So, yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe some of the new spots will be good with Earth damage. I don't think so, though, because even the new, like, crocodiles and stuff are probably not going to be weak to Earth. So probably not too great. Probably not too great, unfortunately. But at least you get the one-handed death weapon in club. So that's going to be pretty good. Moving on to axe. As far as I can tell, the Sanguine Hatchet is going to be a one-handed axe weapon, which is going to be fire plus physical. Now, this is quite similar to the one-handed sword weapon, so which was also fire plus physical, and I feel kind of similar. It's okay. We have the Phantasmal Axe in Axe, which has 54 attack, I believe. And it is a bit weak, admittedly. Only it's like level 180 plus requirement, so it's pretty, low end. So this is definitely going to be good, but it's probably not going to be game breaking. Again, you can probably use it in hard spots if you're going to Ice Library or somewhere like that, or if you're going to Winter Elves. I'm sure this is going to be pretty good. Yeah, probably decent, but nothing too amazing. And the two-handed axe weapon is going to be death plus physical. So again, it's kind of like an upgrade on the soul weapon. I mean, this one I don't really like because I feel like this makes the one-handed soul weapon and axe basically useless. Okay, if you have your soul biter, I mean, I suggest you sell it because I think this is going to be a straight upgrade. It's probably going to have 3 imbuement slots. It's going to have more damage. Basically, the soul biter I expect is going to be redundant. This is going to be a straight upgrade. So that's a bit of a shame because soul biter is a pretty fun, pretty great weapon. But yeah, that's what it is. Again, axe is going to be amazing at Sphinxes now with this. This is going to be by far the best weapon to go Sphinxes and Crypt Wardens. Outside of that, I know death is used in a few spawns, but it's probably nothing that unbelievable. It's going to be good in a few spots. So let's just do another quick review what I think. So one-handed sword weapon, fire, it's okay. Two-handed sword weapon, amazing, energy plus physical. This is the best one out of the lot. Definitely the two-handed sword is the big winner. The one-handed club with death also I think is going to be very useful for club EKs because they were lacking a proper death weapon. The two-handed club, probably very, very average. One-handed fire, probably, okay as well. And two-handed death weapon is going to be good. Like, if Soul Biter didn't exist, I would think this is going to be a great weapon. But with Soul Biter existing, it kind of feels like a waste of a best in slot weapon, personally, right? This is, I think, the only case out of these 6 where you already have a soul weapon in that element, okay? So basically, Axe is going to have one-handed and two-handed best in slot death weapons. It feels like a bit of a waste, personally, okay? But, it's going to be a great weapon, just a shame about Soul Biter. Now, just quickly looking at the other items, the bow, best in slot bow will have earth protection, so probably better than Soul Bleeder, right? Soul Bleeder has holy protection. I think in general, earth is going to be better than earth. The crossbow will have fire protection. I don't think this is particularly interesting or important. You only use crossbows for bosses anyway, so who cares really? The one-handed wand, the best in slot wand will have earth protection, pretty good. And the best in slot rod will have death protection, which is also pretty good. Now we have two pairs of legs, which I can't 100% say which one is which, but I think we have a physical plus death protection, and we have an energy plus physical protection. So if I were to guess, I would say the Sanguine Greaves energy plus physical protection is going to be an paladin item. So I expect the paladins are going to get more energy protection in the legs, which is pretty good. I mean, paladins already have a lot of energy protection, so this will just emphasize that even more. While for the EK, we're looking at physical plus death protection, new best in slot legs. I think this is great. I think death protection in general on gear is probably the best protection you can get. There's loads of death protection all over the game, but also the death imbuement is the weakest out of all protection imbuements. It only gives you 10% protection, which means any death protection you can get in other places on your gear is worth more than other elements. So I think those new best in slot legs that I'm assuming are for the EK are going to be pretty great. So I definitely would expect those to be very expensive. I'm not going to hazard a guess how expensive they're going to be, but they will be much more expensive than Falcon Greaves, and Falcon Greaves are already very expensive. So bear that in mind. Those legs will be super sought after, and you will probably have to wait for a while until you get your pair. And finally, looking at the boots, I'm guessing this one with like fire behind it is probably going to be the sorcerer one. So sorcerer boots are going to be ice plus physical protection. Not much to say there, going to be pretty good. And the druid boots are going to be fire plus physical protection. Again, going to be pretty good, right? I don't think either of those are going to be that game breaking, but they're going to be pretty strong. So that's that. That's all I have for you with regards to the new best in slot gear. I'm not going to go into the details about how to obtain those, but what I can tell you, it is going to be expensive and difficult to get those best in slot items. I think they will be much more expensive than the Soul War or the Gnomopera items. Some of these at the start will definitely be around the 1 KKK mark. So unless you're super rich, I would not be expecting to be getting those anytime soon. I expect that the two-handed sword, the bow, obviously, probably the one-handed club, and the EK legs are going to be the four most expensive items. I would probably say, I'm going to have a guess. I'm going to guess that the bow is going to be most expensive, right? It's going to be probably a bit better than Soul Bleeder. And Soul Bleeder is like the most expensive item in the game right now. So I'm guessing the bow will be the most expensive one. Then I'm expecting the two-handed sword to be extremely expensive as well. More expensive than the two-handed soul weapon. So, if people complain that swords are expensive, well, get ready. They're going to be even more expensive because this item is amazing. The third most expensive item I expect to be the legs for the EK. Like I said, death protection is awesome. And then probably the one-handed club with the death damage. And the rest of the items, it's anyone's guess. I don't know how strong those buffs here will end up being. Obviously, you also have the regular item plus the even extra item with the higher powerful impact, which is also going to influence the price. I definitely think those are going to be very expensive for a very long time. So unless, you're really, 1K level plus, you're going to be grinding these places from day one. You will be waiting for a while until these items come down in price to a reasonable level. And by reasonable level, I mean like 300kk. It's still going to take a while before they're even 300kk, in my opinion. But hey, all to find out. The test server I'm expecting will be open later on in the week, so I will be playing, I will be recording some videos, I will be testing some things. So stay tuned, and yeah. Let me know in the comments what you think about the new weapons. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, please make sure to subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll be answering and monitoring everything. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.